Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you are well. We are going to take a look at choices today, and I'll just pop over to our site. And the choices are in here in player choices number 5, and we can give the player choices to let those decisions affect what happens next. Now we've been doing this a lot, where we've been having branching choices and holding data with variables and things like that. And so inside here we're going to make sure that we've got immediate feedback. So we're going to change our choices so that we can have yes, no and maybe. Okay, so then we can also understand that we can't have things that are going to happen in the background without us knowing that they're there. So then we always want to have a response message. We're going to put that into the maybe. And then we can also just think about sound and action and animation feedback. So now we're going to start thinking about sound, and then later on we can start to think about music. So we're going to go and put some buttons into actions. We're going to give different choices, and then we're going to make sure that our players have feedback. And the block that we're going to use is going to be this part here, which is inside our tile map. Inside the tile map, we are going to have an overlap when a player overlaps with a particular part or a tile at a location. So we can, if you don't have this, you can simply make this. This is inside scene, and this is in our overlaps. So you'll find a tile map overlap here. You can go and use this. We're going to go and change this into something else. We're going to overlap with other things. And you can see that inside mine here, I've already started to go and show some an extra option. So when you have this, it'll look something like this. And you can simply click on the plus and add more options. So you can see that you can add more and more options. Keeping it simple, yes and no is fine. But a maybe can also offer you something deeper for your player to experience. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of that because I don't want a maybe. I'm going to go and right click, and I'm going to go and duplicate this, and you'll notice that it goes grey. When you've got duplicates and copies of the exact same thing, then it will go grey like this, and it just won't be part of your code. Because we want to use tile maps and tiles within our map, we have to go to our map, and we have to go to the one that we're on, and this is our level 1, and we're going to go and edit this, and then we're going to go and just see what we can go and put in with our tiles. I'm going to choose the AI one for this one because currently when you've got AI generated content, the content, you are not sure whether it's real or not. So we can say yes, it is AI, no, it's not AI, and then do we need to look closer at AI? So I'm going to go and drop that on there. What I'm also going to do in this here is also I'm going to go and drop in my entrance. So I've got my stage tile here. I'm going to go and drop that over here onto that block on there. And then I'm simply just going to go and stop my game for a second because I can hear it running in the background. I'm going to go stop that. I'm going to go back into my edit. I could hear it running in the background. I'm going to keep that as the entrance to my game. So I'm going to go and get rid of the wall in here because later on I want my character, my main player, to land on that at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to go and quickly just go into my walls and then delete my wall like that so that my character isn't sort of jammed inside the wall. Later on, I can bring my character. One of my influences is going to come up over here, as we know, and then I'm going to go down to AI, and then that's where I'm going to get my multiple choices in there. So I'm going to hit done. So I'm going to put those 2 blocks in, and then I'm going to go into my game. Let's go back into my blocks. Now, when I've got that duplicate, the moment I change this into a AI, everything will come back to normal. I'm going to go and stop my game. Just make sure that it stops so that it doesn't have the game running in the background. Now this is AI, so of course we don't want this video saying that Roblox has been hacked. This is up to you now to go and choose what you want in here. So you can go and put a cutscene in if you wish. And so we want so when we hit this AI, we want it actually to sort of go up So really we just want this to be y by 20, so it's going up and down. So x is from side to side. I'm just going to change that to y, so it goes up. 20 is going to add plus 20 in there, because that means it's going to go up. If it's minus, it's going to go down. So I'm going to go and hit Y, and then I'm going to go and change my score by 1. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting for our players. You need to come up with something that's going to sit inside here. Okay, and you also need to give it a label. So I'm just going to put that AI like that. And then I'm going to put my choices in there with a maybe. And yours may blank, you've got to type it in and then put maybe. Where does that go? Okay, so where does that maybe go? And this is where you need to think with your friends and talk with your friends and say to your friends, you know, what could a maybe be in here? So I've got a yes and a no, and I'm going to go and get scores relative for yes and no. And so is this AI content? So just going to put that in there real quick. Is this homework AI generated, or is this image AI generated? If it's like yes, you know that it is, and you say yes it is, no it isn't, and you know that it's AI generated, and we're going to hit the plus and we get if else. And so the if else now means that we can go and take this one and change it into a maybe. Okay, so then when the last answer equals maybe and the choice is maybe, you don't necessarily want to go and take points away or add lives or what have you. You might want to go and add double points or double lives, because it means that the player has to learn how to critically evaluate that AI media. So the AI media there is maybe, and we can go and put something inside. Now, because this game is at the beginning, you don't want it to be too complicated. So this is where we can sort of tell our players sort of how to behave with the game. Now, so we've got a maybe, you can then give clues as to how they're going to solve problems later on in the game. So let's take a look at what we've got in here. I've changed this to AI image generated. It could be, is this homework? AI generated, it can be anything, you know, where we are exposed to AI generated content. And so I've got my maybe in here, and then what I've done is just hit the plus at the bottom to go and make a maybe, duplicated this, put a maybe in there, and then what I've done then is what we've done in other videos, in other lessons, is go and give our player something, a visual, that instant feedback that they are then clued into how they should behave and things that they should do in the game, or what they should be getting scored for, so that there aren't any sort of surprises for your character. The next thing, of course, in here could be that you just go and put scores up, you go and put a life up, or you just go and change the life, or you could just literally just put the next text in, and you can just say, next time scores will be awarded. Okay, something like that. Or you can give your character some scores or life if you want, just to sort of give them that sort of token. And of course, you can see that I've gone and decorated this with different cursors. So let's just go and play this real quick. And then my character is going to come into here, go into the AI, and then is this homework AI generated? And I say yes, no, maybe. Let's go into the maybe, and then good. Taking time in here, just hit A, and then going to give us points. Next time, points will be awarded. Okay, good. Now, as you remember, we need to go make sure that we're in that loop. So we need to go make sure that that is going to be in here too, so that my character sort of moves away from the actual object. Now, if you want to go and find out how we're going to go and move our character automatically, so at certain points of the game, when you go into the next level, because this is just temporary, this block here, what we really want to do is just go and make sure at the beginning of our game, we go and say, send our character into a random location, a random tile map. So when you can just say place my sprite on top of a random block. Now this isn't going to be random because there's only one. So if there's only one block, then you know that it can't be random. It's only got to land on that block. So we've already taken the wall away inside our tile map. So when we go and say UB for this one, and we go to our tile and we say the stage, which is the opening of our game, and of course, when you go to the next level, you can go and put that random stage on that tile map because the tile map's going to change anyway, and it's going to go straight to that spot. So let's just go and restart a game, and then hopefully our character will always set at that location. So let's just go play, good. And if we just go and refresh it, let's go and refresh it, and you can see that the character goes into that block. That's a neat little trick for you to use when you're going through your game. Okay, that's it for this session. We're going to go and use this block here, and then go and choose your options rather than yes, no. Now you want a maybe, and that gives you lots more options for us to go and store data in our game. All right, as always, good luck.